hello everyone. So we are E2S. We are a spin-out company from Cardiff University in the UK. So our vision is to revolutionize the energy management practices and decision-making processes in large facilities, such as hospitals and university campuses. So recently we secured an Innovate UK Smart Grant. You'll have to excuse me. My daughter's come through.
That's all right, mate. You're a real person with real children. We understand. I think several of us on the call are much the same. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
About that. So yeah, so saying recently we had some good news. We secured an Innovate UK Smart Grant, and now we are looking to raise £150,000 in private investment to continue with our product development and also sales and marketing to reach our customers over the next 12-month period. So yeah, so first meet the protagonist of our story. Let's call him John. He's an energy manager at a large facility. So we spoke with a number of energy managers like John to understand their day-to-day job, the responsibilities, and how the energy transition is affecting their day-to-day work. And we identified specific pain points and what John would consider to be value gains to do his day-to-day job. Simply going backwards. Yeah, so John has an increasingly difficult and an almost impossible job to do. They have to manage multiple streams of energy data and regularly report energy performance. And today he relies on Excel spreadsheets for this purpose. They have to continuously offer ways to reduce energy consumption and then thereby energy bills. And now with the government's decarbonization agenda, they are tasked to develop a net zero energy strategy to guide the organization to meet its carbon commitments. Certainly, John is not alone. In the UK alone, there are around 1.7 million buildings and facilities, which contributes to over 20% of the UK's carbon emissions. And these facilities will need to undergo a transformation as they look to reduce not only their energy bills, but at the same time, carbon emissions. And organizations lack resources and often the knowledge, the skills, and the tools to required to meet these energy challenges. And we developed Lyra. It's a virtual buddy to support John and other energy managers to address the challenges for large facility energy management. Lyra will help John get ahead of his tasks and will provide knowledge and insights to make confident decisions on how to improve the site's energy systems. Lyra will bring all the energy data seamlessly into one place and will help John understand the different energy flows while automating routine reporting tasks, saving valuable time. It will use an innovative physical and data-driven modeling approach to identify opportunities to improve the site's day-to-day energy performance, and will generate business cases for the integration of low-carbon technologies, such as solar PV and EV charging station integration, to get the facility net zero ready to reduce carbon emissions. And all these at the click of a button, providing hand-holding support for John and other energy managers. We demonstrated proof of concept at a hospital site in the UK where we showed an opportunity to reduce 20% of their annual energy bill with a payback period of 4 months. In the estate manager's own words, realizing this potential would release funds from the estate's budget tied up to pay the energy bills for more important hospital beds and other essential medical equipment. And for these other organizations, it means less worry about energy costs and more focus on their core business. So last year, we have developed good traction working very closely with potential customers and partners across the facility energy management ecosystem. And we have received very encouraging feedback on Lyra's features we have demonstrated so far. And these early strategic partnerships have helped us build our routes to market and our plan for the business model. So current target market is large sites where there's co-generation facility that is generating electricity and heat on sites such as leisure centers, hotels, hospitals, and large schools. But of course, as mentioned, the larger, wider market is almost 1,000 folds bigger, and we have the potential to expand to the commercial and industrial sectors. The pricing strategy for Lyra will be based on the size of the energy bill of the facility we work with, and the guarantee is of a payback period of less than 2 years from the savings that we will show. And we will use an end user licensing approach for the early stage to develop good relationships with our early customers, and then to scale up using a software as a service model, working with sponsors such as energy suppliers, consultants, and low carbon technology solution providers. Current partnerships we have developed so far are very well aligned to support our route to market. And we estimate that we will make a revenue of £4 million within the first 3 years. So we are a team of engineers and researchers that first met at Cardiff University, and we have a background in industry and academia. And now we have complemented that with business development expertise to support this venture. And Lyra was developed over 5 years of academic research and intellectual property development. And now we have free license for use of this IP from Cardiff University to make this venture a success. So thank you. And I would be very keen to hear your feedback on this pitch, where we are looking to raise funding for our next stage work. So thanks for this opportunity. Let's stop sharing now.
Well done, Muditha. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you last time. How long do you think that was?
Okay, with my daughters, if you take away the daughters' time, that would be 6 minutes, a bit less than 6.
Okay. Very good, very good. So I'll hand over to Pedro for the honor of the first question on this one, and then we'll see where we go.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Muditha. I was impressed the first time. I'm even more impressed this second time. Congratulations on that. I have a simple question that may generate others, but your pricing model will refer to as a percentage of the energy bill. Is that correct, or the savings?
So the pricing will be a percentage of the energy bill. And
you are promising me to reduce my bill, therefore you are reducing your turnover, your revenue?
Yeah. So
if you succeed in reducing my bills?
Yeah. So because based on the size of the organization, we estimate the savings we can make will be much larger in larger organizations. So the pricing is to refer, so the larger the organizations, so the pricing we have will be smaller.
Yeah, I understand that. Let me just clarify. I spend £1,000 and you charge me 2.5%. With Lyra, I'm going to save £200. So I'll start just spending £800, and you still charge me 2.5%. In the end, I'm paying lower and lower and lower prices for your services.
Yeah.
So intuitive for me.
I can feel Rachel's twitch going in the corner of her eye with these questions.
Yeah. So
do you want me to jump in? Would that help?
I think you should, Rachel. Come on.
So the pricing model's two-pronged, isn't it? Because you've got the savings of the initial, the percentage of the initial bill, and then you're also taking a proportion of the back-end savings.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of the two. So the higher the savings, the 10% kicks in on the savings. So that's going to keep driving the revenue.
Yeah.
And over time, if more and more savings can be identified through as the new initiatives get implemented, then that drives that 10% to keep going up.
That's right.
Fair analysis, Muditha.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm very glad I had that chat with you very recently. That's exactly right. So we have multiple features in our software. So where we have potential to integrate solar PV. So each of those will generate savings, and it's a cut from that we will take on top of the sort of the fee that we will give for the licensing of the software.
Now, just before we turn to Tiziana for the next question, Muditha, last time when you gave a demo, you included a vid of how the platform worked, but this time you've gone much more with a kind of pitch deck. Why is it you've chosen to stay away from really showing the product?
Yeah, so twofold. So we did get a few comments to say the video did not fit in within this pitch we were trying to do. So it was much simpler to not try to show that video. So that was one comment we got from between now and the last demo night. The second one is I think it's not there ready. So we think we need to do a little bit more work with that video before we can get it to showcase that. So it's a bit early.
Obviously this is all about feedback, and I'll turn to Tatiana in a second, but the difference between last time and this time without the video is last time you were very much we have this thing and you showed this thing, whereas today the narrative was very much we're going to do this thing. And so it felt a little bit more speculative, but you have product and people are really using it. So I just think from the perspective of your narrative, maybe try and reinforce that a little bit. But Tiana, what's your product officer kind of mind doing with this?
Yeah. I've been also thinking about the features. So yeah, maybe we couldn't really realize the features. As you mentioned, we didn't see the product, and there are many data analytics products and reporting services nowadays, right? So it would be nice to see a little bit more. On the other hand, it's a very domain specific product. So maybe us who are not in the energy wouldn't really understand everything, right? But maybe then what you can do is show us how it's done without your product. How do these managers do it nowadays? Do you have some competition? Are there some other products alternatives out there? So I think it would be nice to see this in your pitch, how it's done right now. Who are your competitors? What are the alternatives for John? So that part I think would be nice to see. And I have a question in order to understand the stage of your product development. You mentioned that you already have some customers. So your product is live, running, you have paying customers. Is that true?
So we are in product development. So we're working with potential customers. So the features we are building in the software are with customers that have expressed their interest to actually purchase that product.
But are they using it?
Yes, they're currently using. So we are testing 3 features, and we are producing that output for them on a continuous basis.
Okay, nice. And like, what's their feedback for now? Like, they want new features, because of course it's always nice to have, or they're like, okay, we tested, it's fine, but without the new features, it doesn't really make sense for us at the moment. So what was the feedback that you're getting from them right now?
They continuously want new features to help with sort of managing their day-to-day job. So they, in terms of reporting, rent management, energy bill management. So there's different things they need to be doing, and there's a constant sort of conversation around new features that they are requesting from us.
Got it. And as it's B2B, do you feel that these requests are very custom per client, or you think you can do some general solutions that would satisfy most of them?
Sorry, Juliana, could you repeat that question?
So you have, let's say, 10 customers, right? And as you mentioned, they keep requesting features. So do you feel that you can like do some general solutions that would satisfy most of their needs, or you have to do custom solutions for most of them?
No, we think it's a very general problem, and once we build that and demonstrate that same problem will be the same across the board for large facilities of a certain type. And that's why we think this is really crucial at this stage, where every organization is looking to improve their energy systems, the energy performance. So there's a huge appetite for these, the sort of general tools rather than custom-made consultancy-based project approaches. So that's why we think there's a real gap in the market for this.
Nice. And back to the
come on, don't hog the questions. Don't hog the questions, Gianna. We'll come back to you. I think you've had 5 for your money this time.
Sorry.
That's all right. What about you, Rachel? What real question do you want to ask?
Oh, sorry. So my burning question is, what's stopping you from charging the people who are using it at the moment?
Good multitasking, Muditha. Well done, buddy. It's all good.
Yeah. So, we are in conversation onto that pricing ratio. So for 2 of the features we've built so far, we are currently working on that because the sites we work with to develop these, we are keen to actually give them that discount, and that's the model we are currently discussing with these organizations.
It was mainly based on what you were saying about how useful they were finding things. I was thinking this could be a good opportunity when you're discussing new features to say, okay, you're enjoying the existing features, maybe not 100% of the normal cost, but we need to start passing some of these costs on to you, and we will take on your feedback, build out extra features in the product. Once we've launched those, potentially the cost ratchets up a little bit more.
Yeah, no, correct. So 2 things. I think one is we are discussing we are arranging the pricing, but also the product. So the product that we've demonstrated is on a it's in a testing phase. So before we release it, we would like it to be ready for deployment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the discussions you've had so far about starting to bring in the pricing, how have those been received?
Sorry, I'll need a second. Sorry.
Tiana, we'll be able to come back to you for your last question in a minute if you want, as we've got a little bit of extra time today.
No, I just wanted to ask if there are some competitors that we need to be scared of.
Okay.
And there's a daughter with a tooth hurting, so really important.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
We've had actually 2 very good conversations. So one with a hospital site we are working with, and another with a council we are building a feature for. I would say they are early stage at the moment, and because we've just got to producing those results and improving the feature. It's at an early stage. So the pricing is the one we are at the moment grappling with how to price that in a good way. So I think your questions around pricing was quite spot on.
I think we've got a chance for Tiana to ask her last question, and then Greg, I wonder if you could give us a reflection as another founder on what you've seen today from Muditha and what you would be doing with it. So Tiana, what was your last question?
Yeah, Model, do you have some competitors? Somebody doing something similar right now?
So we don't see a similar product in the market. So the market is segregated into these very detailed design softwares for energy systems design, and on the consulting approaches, where consultants use their in-house software tools to provide consulting and energy bureau size type services. So there is this gap in the middle, which is particularly specifically designed for an energy manager's day-to-day activities, and we haven't seen that product in the market. So it's an interesting one to, I think, bridge this between highly detailed design softwares and the consulting approaches. But the challenge is, as you picked out earlier, how do we make this generalized? Because every site's energy system can be a little bit specific and unique. So to capture that archetypes and build the product to match a big portion of that customer sites.
Definitely sounds you're on the right track. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so Greg, what would you do with this one as a founder?
Well, I just there's definitely some overlap in terms of some similarities in terms of challenges that being faced. I suppose I mostly have come away with a sense of being quite impressed with especially the traction and kind of how that traction is working. What I would do with this is ask Muddy to help with what I'm doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Definitely think competence and clear plan came across nicely. So,
All right, very good. Thank you,
Thank you.
Muditha. Thank you, Muditha's daughter. Lovely to have you both here today.